It is a race against time for an 11-year-old Bronx boy in need of a kidney transplant. The thing is, he has a donor and he's ready for surgery right now, but doctors will not operate. News 12's Alicia Lavager joins us with this incredible story of a boy looking for a lifeline.
Believe it or not, 11-year-old Michael Espada's surgery is on hold because of the condition of his home. His father claims doctors have told him they won't operate until the landlord deals with a rat and mold infestation in the apartment. I sat down with the family to talk about their ordeal. George Espada is emptying his son's bladder. Michael and his dad do this every 2 to 3 hours, every single day.
And this is how Michael urinates.
It's hard for me as a kid to deal with this at this age.
This 11-year-old has a failing kidney. It's something he's dealt with his whole life. He needs a transplant.
Why do I have to have kidney failure? I'm just saying, why? Just why? I feel lost.
It's painful because when you see your son in pain and then there's nothing you can do.
Soon, George will be able to do something. Michael's doctors say George is a perfect match to donate his kidney. But after a lifetime of bags and tubes, Michael still has to wait. The visiting nurses from New York Presbyterian Hospital, where Michael will have the surgery, evaluated the Espada's home in preparation for the transplant.
All the rodents and roaches and everything comes up to the radiators.
George says, according to doctors, that, on top of the mold, renders the home unsuitable for post-surgery recovery. George says he tried to reach his building's landlord to fix the problems, but he says a recent change in management made that impossible. Until the infestations are resolved, George says Michael's surgery is on hold.
It's an everyday struggle with him trying to maintain, his health. And, these living conditions here is not making things a lot easier for us.
Michael's doctors at New York Presbyterian declined to talk to us on camera, but the chief of pediatric nephrology at Montefiore Children's Hospital explains why doctors may be concerned.
If they're exposed to certain bacteria or viruses or parasites or fungi, their natural defenses are not working. They're kind of shut off, and they can get infected quite easily.
But the longer doctors wait to operate, the more likely Michael will have to go on dialysis.
We try to avoid the time on dialysis because things can go wrong. It can affect their growth, their development. It's not a cure, it's only temporary.
Back at home, a handheld video game player helps to detract from Michael's daily dilemma. But this precocious 11-year-old is fully aware of the toll his condition takes on his parents.
I see him crying most of the times because how he sees me frustrating when I'm in pain and all that. And then you got my mother on the other side praying with him, hoping that everything gets better soon.
Michael's caseworker at Columbia Presbyterian has gone as far as writing the borough president, asking for his help to correct the current living environment or helping the family relocate. At one point, George even considered moving his family into a shelter. Just a few hours before this piece was set to air, we finally heard from the spokesperson for the property owner. He promised to look into the matter and said the company would never allow any of their tenants to live under these kinds of conditions. In the meanwhile, Michael takes a daily dose of these oversized pills to regulate his salt levels, potassium levels, and blood pressure.
I feel like a little bit scared, but sometimes you have to be a little man. Sometimes you just have to man up and do what you gotta do.
I'm hoping and praying that this situation does get resolved in time because Michael doesn't have a lot of time left.
The spokesperson for the property owner, Omni New York LLC, claims the company did respond to the family's concerns, saying, quote, when the tenant have calls for assistance in the apartments in June, we came and made the repairs necessary. The spokesperson went on to say if additional issues need to be addressed, the company will look into it. But it seems those repairs won't come in time because as of next Tuesday, despite his family's efforts to avoid it, Michael will have to go on dialysis. From the studio, Alicia Lavager, News 12, the Bronx.